Aaron Donald has announced his retirement from the NFL. 10-time Pro Bowler, 8-time All-Pro, Super Bowl championship, only 32 years old, going to be 33 in a couple of months.
412 representative.
And, he's going to be on his way to Canton, Ohio and be a Hall of Famer.
Penn Hill's his finest.
He's kind of been, poking around at this for a couple of years now, and some people thought, well, he's just trying to be the highest paid defensive tackle in the league, and he's just trying to do this and that, but now it's official, and he's gone. And he doesn't strike me as somebody who's going to come back out of retirement. This seems like that's going to be it for Aaron Donald, and he's got a bunch of money. He's got all the credentials. He's going to be in Canton, Ohio in 5 years from now. Incredible career.
I think there's a case to be made, too, and LaVar, you might not like it when I say it, but it being one of the greatest defenders of all time, maybe the greatest. Look, I know, but hear me out, all right? Hear me out. He stepped into the league as a Pro Bowler. He was Defensive Rookie of the Year. From that point, moving forward from St. Louis to his time in LA, all the way through his career, he's essentially been a perennial Pro Bowler and an All-Pro first team. I mean, there's only been the exception of 2022 where he missed time, but I believe he still made the Pro Bowl that year, only playing in 11 games. I think you could make the case as an interior defensive tackle too, and the way he's impacted the game with teams understanding the importance, not so much just of having pressure off the edge, but a dominant interior defensive tackle. He's got a Super Bowl to go along with it. But I think you could make that case. He's had that successful of a career.
I don't want to take away from the announcement, congratulations and is in order for him, and also just a brilliant career, brilliant player. It's interesting because for him to be so undersized, it's guys like Aaron Donald and Steve Smith, those type of guys, Drew Brees. It's like these guys have been the greats of greats and are tremendously undersized, have been looked at and undervalued just because they don't fit a prototypical type of size, which, interestingly enough, Warren Sapp isn't much taller or much bigger than Aaron Donald in size and measurement. But to me, hands down, those are, in my estimation, the most dominant to have ever done it at their position. And as far as Aaron Donald, his versatility, I think very few, I throw J.J. Watt in that conversation with Aaron Donald in terms of the versatility and how they can be as impactful and effective along that defensive front. But until a guy is actually the NFL most valuable player as a defender and has had the impact on the game from all angles in the way that they have, and has Super Bowls to go on their resume, has multiple Defensive Players of the Year on their resume, I just can't go. I can't rock against Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor is possibly the greatest football player of all time, let alone defensive. So I'm gonna say I'm
not gonna argue that. The only thing I'd say is Aaron Donald's production in an era where, as a defensive tackle too, 111 sacks as a defensive tackle, majority of his career.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to fight you because he's from where I'm from.
412.
The other thing is,
not just the 412. He's from where my family, we're from that area where he's from.
I think this award has gotten almost impossible for a defensive player to win now.
It was impossible then.
Back then, it was easier in the sense you got more running backs winning it. Now, hear me out. We looked at this year's MVP and we give it to Lamar Jackson, which you can make the case he was deserving. Statistically speaking, though, we could have made the case for a running back, but that almost never happens anymore. It's almost exclusively now
for the quarterback.
A quarterback award.
I agree.
And I'm saying back then you saw a bit more of a variety, at least, of it being to a running back, maybe a defensive player, a quarterback, etc.
Maybe a different offensive player, 100%, but a defender to get the MVP award of the entire league is unheard of.
Aaron Donald,
unheard of.
Aaron Donald never had a down year. Like the one year you look at his numbers and go, well, why did Ticket dip? He was dealing with the injury, and that was last year. But when he was there and playing, like there was never a down year.
Let me put it to you this way. We're sitting here debating greatest of all time. We're not debating, you know what I mean? Like, this is quite the accomplishment, quite the career, I mean, Aaron Donald is every bit of what people think he is.
It's like the Jordan LeBron debate. Like, who gives a crap? Like, if you honestly, who cares?
If you're debating LeBron James to Michael Jordan, you've won.
It's like arguing who's got the biggest house behind a gated community. Who cares? Like, you're both behind the gates. You both won in life.
But you could there could be a lot of things that are not good about you in being in that home. I'm telling you, when you look at everything that's good about when you have these type of conversations, Aaron, and I'll say this, off the field, where in some cases now you can make the debate, and now you just took me down a dark road.
Well, here's the only reason why I bring this up. It's the only reason I bring up the timing of it and how different today's game is because as much as you're lauding Lawrence Taylor, he's the MVP. Mark Mosley was a kicker and won it in 1982.
Truth.
Okay. And you also had Alan Page win it in 1971 for the Vikings. And you had a bigger run of running backs between Walter Payton, Earl Campbell, through the years, Marcus Allen, obviously. Since basically it's turned 2000, right? Like you had Marshall Faulk in 2000 win it.
Amazing. After
that, LT, Sean Alexander. Since then, it's been all quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, AP won it one year in 2012. It's
an amazing roster of names.
I want to look at the voting too through the years because I think that's the other thing is I think he was a lot closer to winning it some years than people realize.
So Donald was Defensive Player of the Year. Obviously, we mentioned the 3 times. Top 2, or he finished top 3. He finished every year he was in the NFL minus the first and the last couple years, he was a top 5 Defensive Player of the Year, and you could argue he should have won it every year as we've laid out, but it's almost like one of those things to where out of boredom you gave it to somebody else. Yeah, we're tired of this guy always winning it, so let's go ahead and give it to somebody else.
When you talk about double teams and need I say triple teams and need I say quadruple team, yes. If you watch film of Aaron Donald, there are times during the game where he is doubled, tripled, and quadrupled 4 men trying to block one guy during the course of one play.
He had 20 and a half sacks in a 16-game season as an interior lineman.
I mean, that is as phenomenal as it gets for a player. As an interior lineman.
By the way,
yeah, he's a beast.
If we're being real too, he's undersized for his position.
Yeah.
At 6'1", 280 pounds, like I remember him coming into the league, that was the knock. People looked at him as a first-round talent, but they're like, can he hand up? Can he stand up?
Can he hold up?
Yeah, can he hold up? Can he hold up at the point of attack? Is he stout enough? I think he answered any doubters that were out there right out of the gate.
That's kind of funny. His off-season programs consisted of him working out. His trainer taught him how to do self-defense. Like they would use rubber knives and stuff like that.
Oh.
And so his training.
Steven Seagal, huh?
I mean, something like that. So basically, my man was up in there like Bruce Lee. He up in there breaking fingers, grabbing thumbs, hitting touch points, pressure points, like he was Shaolin Temple and cats, like ding, like he's up in that boy.
I'm going to call out Pro Football Reference, or if Pro Football Focus wants to get on this, could somebody do a deep dive and find me how many games Aaron Donald was involved in an altercation? Like he had some sort of an altercation where there was a face mask grab or something that would be considered assault off the football field, because this seemed like every game that guy had a problem. Like, remember the fight at practice? Like, it just turned into a giant brawl. He grabbed somebody's helmet and threw it on the ground. That was a violent dude when he played football.
You talking about Aaron Donald?
Yeah.
We took a whole segment to talk about how great he is, and you know what? It's not even enough. Somebody's sitting somewhere right now like, they're talking about Aaron Donald for the entire segment. You know what? It is well deserved.
He's a top 3 to 5 defensive player of all time.
Well deserved, and left this game much better than what he found it.
Yes.
Listen, I would have loved to have had a career where my impact on the game left this game a much better game, knowingly by those who spectated it, knowingly that it left the game better than what it was when I left. There's only a handful of guys that get to take that and boast about it if they prefer to. And Aaron Donald is one of those guys. What a brilliant career.
Yeah, we can play this game since people want to. The law offices of bitch and moan are in. Here we go. Clippers beat the Bulls 126-111 last night. There you go. That'll cover our tracks. There's your NBA update.
Clip City, baby.
Yeah, we'll play that game too.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, just one of the all-time greats, Aaron Donald, calling it a career again. 32 years old, all the credentials in the world. So now that Hall of Fame class in 5 years from now is going to have Jason Kelsey and Aaron Donald. So the inside of the line is well represented in Canton, Ohio. 5 years
both sides,
from now.
huh?
Now, if you're the Rams, how much do you think Les Snead and Sean McVay tried to convince him to come back for another year?
They're probably still trying.
You sure
I kind
about
of
this?
wonder too. If he is really retired.
I think he's done.
I mean,
he's hinted around at this for so long.
I know, and he's made a ton of money throughout the course of his career, so he's financially set. You never know. I always say this. It's easy, I think, for a lot of players who do retire to make the announcement now. It becomes really, really hard to live with what life is after football once you get through the end of training camp and you see the games and the excitement and everything else. That's what you did. That's what all your sacrifice was for. And once you get to that point, because he's a player that no one's going to bring in and be like, oh, hey, we need you to go to training camp. They're going to plug him in and they're going to let him go and let him play. And that's a guy that if you were a team trying to make a Super Bowl run and you needed someone in there, I would be knocking on his door every day and making sure that he truly wants to be retired if we're one of those teams that's on a playoff run, a chance to go win a Super Bowl.
I just think it's the preparation and the wear and tear is the reason why he probably chose to step away. I mean, the amount of a beating that he's taken during the course of years, like, sure, he's dished it out, but I can't even imagine the pain that his body feels dealing with that. And then the preparation, like you said, going into it, someone of his size and what he's able to do at the level that he does it, I can't imagine how much, like, I've seen his workouts, I've seen his workout film, but I'm sure there's a lot of other things that I haven't seen. There's a lot of things that we haven't seen that he has to do in order for his body to be what it needs to be. And I just wonder if he's in his mind, like, listen, I don't want to be one of those guys that, I knew Deacon Jones. Like, he was an alumni of mine for Washington, and I used to see him around. And guys who were amazing and did certain things, their bodies just gave up on them, man. At a certain point in time, you're seeing guys in wheelchairs and stuff like that, and they're kind of not coherent. I just wonder if he's one of those guys, and I don't know him very well, but I do know some people who like taught him and coached him when he was younger and have known him through the years. And he just seems like he's one of those cerebral guys. Like, he's super smart. He's intelligent about himself, his business, his body, and all those things. I don't know that he would be using this as an opportunity to just sit down and wait for somebody to come get him. I think in his mind, I can't keep doing what I'm doing to play at the level I want to play at, and this might be the perfect time to get off. It just seems like that might be what it is.
But in this case, I'm saying he doesn't have to do it for as long. That's all.
I mean, that's fair.
You guys want to pocket watch a little here? I love the pocket watch from time to time.
What's that?
Career earnings for Aaron Donald.
Oh,
if you had
pocket
to guess.
watch.
Yeah.
I can't play a part of this. I already know.
Oh, come on.
I already looked. Come on, some of us do our research with these
How
things.
about that?
All right.
Some of us,
150.
Man.
take that, Jonas.
VAR, how much do you think he's made
It's
in his
already
NFL
out
career?
there.
What do you mean?
150 plus.
Damn. $157 million and change for Aaron Donald. He was set to make, $35 million this upcoming year, so could have put him at a clean 192 and change at the end of his contract, but he's out.
So in theory, at the least, he's probably at, 50 away after everything?
I'm pretty sure he lives in Hidden Hills out here in Southern California. A little pricey out there,
I mean, I'm just saying, and you giving up 49%. I get.
Is that all? I mean, there's some golfers who say that they actually give up more than that, but
I get heartburn and acid reflux.
Hey, Jonas, why don't you give everyone Aaron Donald's address too while you're at it, just in case someone wants to try to break in.
Oh, come on. Everybody knows he lives in Hidden Hills, all right?
Not that that's an issue out there.
But some of us do our research,
Listen,
you know what I mean? So Jonas is going to hit you with that.
Every celebrity.
Not that that's an issue out there or just around the country. I mean, didn't Colin have an issue with that somewhere in his vacation home or something?
Yeah, there was an issue. There was something popped up like that. But
I mean, I will say this to your defense, Jonas. They do tours, and I am guilty. I've taken family members who have come to visit.
Have you gone to Hidden Hills?
Well, I've gone on the tour.
Really?
Where you get
celebrity
on the
houses.
You get on the house. There you go. And you see some Leonardo DiCaprio's mama come out with her. What is her what you do?
The squirt squirt bottle?
No, when you spray your yard with it. What is it called?
An Uzi. An Uzi.
Not thank you. Thank you, Q.
Sorry.
An
Uzi?
Uzi?
I mean, you said no to the squirt bottle. I just thought the next step up would have been an Uzi.
Her hose. She pulls out her hose,
BB gun in California, let alone.
And she be trying to hose people down when they get too close to the property. She be spraying them, hollering out obscenities. We're just going to go down this road right now. We're not going to go any closer. You see her pumping her fist.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
It's a new tour. It's Universal Studios. Yeah, it's the new studio tour.
Leonardo's mom.
It is. Congratulations. Hell of a career if this is it for Aaron Donald, who announced a short time ago he is retiring from the NFL. Just a great career, one of the all-time greats in the National Football League.